Sit down and listen to my top 10 Mark Evans Hissatsus. TXM style. What's up everyone and welcome back to a new Inazuma 11 video. Today we're counting down my top 10 Mark Evans Hissatsu special move things. Let's go! Number 10 is Death Zone 2. I love this move. I love the original Death Zone. I think Death Zone 2 only added to it. And also the fact we had to sit through an entire episode of build-up definitely makes you decently emotionally attached to this move. I love the way they spin, the way they... everything about Death Zone 2. Oh, the colours. Sick. Also, I just love the concept of Death Zone 2. I love the fact that they decided Bobby, Mark, Jude, based. That's such a base trio for a move. And the idea of it being an addition to the original Death Zone is sick, and also its existence allowed for Final Death Zone to exist. And that's fantastic. So cheers, lads. Number 9 is a bit more conventionally Mark. It's a goalkeeping move, and it's called Margin the Hand. Now, one of the most satisfying anime moments of all time for me is Mark using Margin the Hand against Zeus. So much build up for that, and they finally pull it off, and he does the big thing, and it's sick. It's so cool. I love the way Margin the Hand looks. I love that it's constant use throughout the rest of the second season or whatever, and I love the whole fact he has to spin. It feels like a big move because of how much time Mark has to spend using it, of going like, he has to do that first. That's insane. The poor man's bloody out there like a ball flying towards him at top speed, and he has to turn around first. He has his back to the ball, he's exposing his weakness. I just love the fact it has all this build-up to create such a big final impact. Sure, it may be weak in the grand scheme of things, but that does not matter at all. Number 8 is Inazuma One Drop. Now, this might not be the flashiest move of all time, but what it is really annoying and frustrating, but I'm putting it on the list for that reason, because I don't know about you guys, but I watched Inazuma One Drop being done on the anime, and then I thought, I want to use this in the game, and then never could, because I could never find the manual, because the manual's like probably some Wi-Fi download or something. And that really irritated me, but it stuck with me. Because Inazuma One Drop is such a cool idea for a move that's combined two of our previous strongest moves into one move, that you just want to do it. You just want to be able to use it in the game. You're like, whoa, I want to use this in the game. And then you can't use it in the game, and then you cry yourself to sleep and break your DS. Mother. Number 7, we're going back to goalkeeping moves with Dimensional Hand. Now this is the Mark Evans, you could argue, his first move that is an actual unique move, that he's not stealing from his granddad, but he totally got the idea of it from his granddad. And so it's an interesting one, and I like it in a very narrative sense. I also like it in a utility sense, in the fact that it is a goalkeeping move that's a bit different. Instead of actually catching the ball, you're just deflecting the ball behind you, and that's awesome. It's a move designed to create goal kicks. That's awesome. I just love the fact it's a move that's not designed to stop a shot, but simply deflect a shot, because sometimes shots are too powerful to be stopped. But not for the next move on the list, because number 6 is God Catch. This move's literally just designed to be strong as shit, but I love it as like a cycle of completion. Taking Margin the Hand, God Hand, all these kind of old moves of Mark's, and putting it together into God Catch. Literally as over the top, as powerful as can be. Also in the anime, when he does it, they go, catch it, catch it, catch it! Or like, you know, like there's the background chanting as well, and that adds so much to it. That makes it so much cooler. So much cooler. For me, God Catch is as cool as a move can get. Well, not really, because it's only number 6, but it's as epic as a move can get. Because it's this build-up of 3 seasons to creating this ultimate, super strong Mark move, where it just feels like he's putting his all into it every single time. Genuinely, God Catch is one of the few moves where it feels like nothing can break it. And I guess because we never do really see anything break its final form, and so we're just kind of like, yeah, that is the ultimate shot. There is no getting past that shot. That is the ultimate shot. Not the ultimate shot, the ultimate catch. That is the ultimate catch. Nothing's ever getting past it. Whoops, Mark's won like football entirely. Number 5 is the Earth. Now this is a 3-player shot between Mark, Sean and Axel, but it's also technically an 11-player shot. The Earth takes the idea of friendship as power and pushes it to its limits. The Earth is the ultimate friendship as magic shot. Like honestly, it's the combination of 11 players giving it their all, touching the ball, sparkly effects, friendship in the middle, and it's the Earth, and it looks so cool. There's a reason they copied this move and ripped it off with the Earth Infinity, because the Earth is just so insane. It only ever happens once. It only ever happens once, and when a move only ever happens once, you feel like there's a lot more impact put into it. The Earth kind of started this idea of a big, final, actual shot that isn't just the Phoenix plus Fire Tornado, and there's a reason that whole idea has been replicated in every other one, because the Earth did it so bloody well. And yes, Mark is obviously a very valid part of it. That goalkeeper, man, he can really run to the centre of the pitch and shoot. But I guess he wasn't a goalkeeper at this point, so it does work out fine. You know what? Forget I said anything. Number 4 is Hammer of Fury. Now, we may have talked about God Catch, we may have talked about Margin the High, we may have talked about these iconic moves. So why is Hammer of Fury higher than all those other iconic moves? Because it's really cool. I wish I had more reason for it, but I just love the idea. I love the visuals of this Margin, instead of just like catching the ball, of punching the ball into the ground, of like smacking it with its fist. I think it's so much cooler. I think it's so much more interesting. Like, honestly, it just looks cool. I can't describe it aside from it looks cooler. Please believe me, the move just looks cool. Number 3 is God Hand V, used only by Adult Mark. Now, why does Adult Mark slip into the list with God Hand V, I hear you ask? Good questions, because it's the move sick as hell. You can go, you know, it's like a... and the V's pop up. I always had this mental idea that God Hand V might have been, it's something like Mark created over high school. It was this big high school God Catch. That it was so powerful he could use it all throughout the pro leagues when he went to Barcelona or wherever the hell Mark Evans went. I wonder where these players would go if you were to put them in. I should do that in Football Manager sometime. But anyway, God Hand V I think is such a cool move because it's like, it's this idea of a cycle. You take the original move Mark had used, God Hand, and you turn it into this massive, massive, epic move that feels unstoppable, God Hand V. What's different about it? Well, it's just this sense of unknown to it. We don't know how this got created, we don't know how powerful it is, we don't know whether or not it's the strongest move Mark even has. All we know about it is that it's got a V. That's cool as hell. Number 2 is not quite as cool, but I love it for how different it is to Mark's other moves, and that's Megaton Head. Megaton Head was obviously created as Mark's way of being useful outside of the goal, while Darren had his chance in goal, and Mark used Megaton Head as his kind of blocking move. It's a block shot. And I just love how cool it is and how quintessential it feels to Mark, whilst also not being a goalkeeping move. It feels like a Mark move, despite not being a goalkeeping move, and I don't know if you all noticed, but Mark is a goalkeeper. It's pretty mad how that works. But the idea of essentially doing Fist of Justice, but with his head, is really cool, and I love it. And I love this idea of Mark being useful outside of the net. I also like the fact that they actually take the time to say, yeah, it is kind of weird how Mark always runs out of goal, and that's not very good, like, tactics. Maybe we should instead have him, you know, just be a defender. And I do appreciate that. And also Megaton Head's a really cool shot, as well as just being, like, cool for Mark. It's just a cool move in general to give to anyone. And finally, number 1. This is a move that does not come out in the big main series games yet because it's an Ares move. I hear you say, Tom, you hate Ares. Why are you putting an Ares move at the top of your list of Mark moves? Well, I just really like Fusion Rajan. I just can't overstate how much I love this move. One of my favourite moments in the entire anime is actually from Ares. The whole bit with the victory line going into Fusion Rajan. Also, this is the only move I'm using the Japanese name for because I refuse to actually acknowledge the English name. It's called like Mega Margin or some shit. We ignore that. But I just love this idea of the God of Wind, God of Lightning thing they've got going on. With these two gods working together for essentially what is double Margin the Hand, but colourful. That sounds like my dream come true. It's like a rainbow double Margin the Hand, to like give it a really long, boring name. I just love the idea of Mark creating like an ultimate goalkeeping move, which captures shots from like all around it. It's the kind of quintessential Mark move in the way he's always adapting it and changing it. I love Fusion Rajan Ghost too, but also like that feels like if I'm regarding that one, it feels like, oh, it's a weird like rip-off one, so I'm just going to go with the original because original's probably better and cooler. But just know that probably you could put Fusion Rajan Ghost here too, and I would also completely agree. Mostly it comes down to the colours. I'm a bit of a sucker for colours despite being colourblind. And yeah, you know what? Sure, absolutely. It works. Everything about it works. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. And let me know down below what your favourite Mark Evans move is. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.